Hey there, Becca Gravinsky here, and I am inviting you to Leap. Leap is a path to extraordinary, a path that you maybe wished existed but didn't know did. And the path to extraordinary is really kind of, I hate this word, but like the cheat codes to how do I live a life where I'm not the victim, where my life doesn't happen to me and I have to just accept as is, where I really get to actively create and I can see and know and have the awareness of like looking from a higher view of how life really, really gets to go for me. So this is for you. If you are open and you are ready to see this all differently, because the way that energy works and the way that we micro shift and the way that we start to believe differently, the way that we start to act differently, the way that we start to speak differently, the way that we hold ourselves internally, energetically, as well as externally, energetically, all needs to change. And it doesn't happen overnight. So you're going to be learning a lot of different things, a lot of new concepts, a lot of things that are like, I remember when I first started learning this and it was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, you're telling me that my life gets to look like that? Like I can have it all. And there was this sense of like, oh, good. Like I don't have to struggle anymore, right? I don't have to even, I don't even have to agree with the belief system that suffering is necessary. Instead, I get to look at my life and of course with all of us, right? Like we have a journey to walk, which I think that we can all agree with. That journey is going to give us different lessons in the process that may be painful, but never in an energy of suffering. Pain, I got it. Suffering, not here for it. So who is this for? I like to, if I were to have to find the perfect person that this is for, I'm just going to give you their personality. And I find them to be anywhere from like 35 to 65. Okay. Entrepreneur, either mindset, regardless of where they work, business owner, entrepreneur, built their own business, but somebody that has actively pursued their dreams and has failed or perceived failure, or they've gone through hard times. And so they have seen when you look back, right? So this is you, when you've looked back over the course of the history of your life, what you have seen is opportunities where you kept getting back up, where you didn't quit, where you had this like inner resilience and inner fire where you just kept going, or burnt out completely, killed it all, and moved and shifted into a different direction. Okay. Open-minded, right? Willing to learn. I think that's one of the things is being willing to see this all differently. That was a really, really big shift for me that I had to keep like my mantra coming back to. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see this differently. God, universe, angels, whatever you believe, I'm willing to see this differently. Like show me a better way, because here's why the entrepreneurial mindset is much different than a fixed mindset. Okay. We have flexibility here. We have fixed here. When we are stuck in a fixed mindset, there is very little room for evolution and growth. Okay. Because we're so set on, okay, here's my identity. Here's who I am. This is the way the world works. And when something comes in that challenges that, our identity gets challenged and our feelings of safety and security get challenged. And so if this is you and you have like a base of like, I don't want what I believe right now to change, this is not for you. Your nervous system isn't going to be able to hold it. And you're going to reject it. And it's going to cause a lot of fears, which is going to push you in the opposite direction. Okay. So there's amazing mentors out there for you. I am not it. Okay. Why would you want to walk this path? I'll tell you mine. Okay. I want an amazing relationship. I want an amazing business. I want an amazing body. I want to have it all. I want an amazing family. Like I want to create wealth beyond what I believe is possible. And so the most exciting thing about me being on earth, like purpose, is like taking where I'm at and taking something that I don't know how to get there and quantum leaping it, not baby stepping to it, but quantum leaping it, where all of a sudden I leap and I'm there and I'm like, holy shit, that is really fun. And so when you start to work with energy and you realize that like all of a sudden in an instant, the desire that you want just shows up and you're just like, you can't make this up, right? The universe has ways of putting miracles in our place. And that's really what it is. It's just playing in the energy of miracles and really allowing yourself to surrender to there's something bigger above us, regardless of what you believe. This is not a, this is what you must believe to participate in LEAP. But regardless of your belief system, energy, right, is scientific. Okay. And then universe, right? So we take spirituality, universe, God, you put the words that resonate with you. If you've had a really good experience with church, God may resonate. If you've had a negative experience with church, universe may resonate, or something in between. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. But when you walk this path, you gain a couple things. You gain confidence. You shoot higher, right? There's when you realize that there's absolutely no glass ceiling that you have to break through, you dream bigger, you get more excited about life, you move out of this monotony of like this scheduled life of this is what I do and I go on vacation once or twice a year, and I'm doing the thing, and you're kind of like a prisoner held in this construct that you have either adopted through society or that you've created yourself, to this today, this is what I desire and this is what I create, and I'm able to change it anytime I want. And although society says I can't have it because of this, or this isn't going to work because of this, I know now in my heart, in my soul, that all of that is an illusion, because I've gone past what people have said is impossible. And so here's the thing. Walking this path is liberating. It is like the ultimate freedom. And on the flip side, when you go first, right, and you lead this movement to liberation and freedom, regardless of what's going on in the world, you are surrounded by people that don't yet believe it. And so that's going to be part of the journey, is understanding that when you lead this, you're going first. Okay. I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to give you everything that I know. And as I'm like consistently learning new things and growing and expanding, I'm going to continue to pour this into this container, this very sacred, very transformational container. And and you have to have the mental strength to be able to hold your belief system when nobody around you believes the same thing. And they watch you and they watch you and they watch you until one day, okay, they're like, wait a second. You keep doing this. It's not just like an anomaly. It just happened one time. It happens again and again and again and again. And I want that, right? And people start to believe in you differently. People start to relate to you differently. And your energetic charge changes because your confidence level is so rooted inside of you that it emanates outside of you. Okay. I'm telling you, like, this life can be really flipping amazing if you let it. But you've got to be willing to see this all differently. Okay. It's got to start here with a choice and a belief of understanding, like, I am going to teach you things that may like blow your mind. Okay. Yet you're like, is that really going to work? Is that really true? And that questioning aspect of you is your ego trying to keep you safe. Okay. Excellent. Good work. So I'm going to give you a little introduction. There is the third dimension and the fifth dimension. That's all we're going to talk about today. And the third dimension specifically is like what I talked about. Like, you're here, you want to go here, and you have like linear steps to get there. And that is the way that the world has worked for a very, very, very long time, right? Many people in 3D. 3D is very much what I see as my current reality. What I see is my current reality. It is very victim consciousness, which means like we feel hopeless about the healthcare system. We feel hopeless about the governmental system. We feel hopeless about the monetary system. We feel hopeless about the way that the economy is going. We feel hopeless about the kinds of food that we have based upon the depletion of the nutrients and the minerals because of the depletion in the soil that is growing the food that we are eating, and we're not getting the nutrients that our body needs, yada, yada, yada. Okay. We feel stuck. We are very much like kind of mold ourselves into the system that we were raised, born into, living in, and we just kind of live at the status quo, not even aware, okay? Not yet even aware that we're living in a lower reality, that something better is available, okay? Which means in the 3D, we tell stories about, well, people with money are bad. People that have amazing relationships, well, they don't have any stress. People with blah, 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 right? There's all these like reasons, belief systems that we like project out there that are saying like, well, they can have it, but I can't because I'm XYZ. Okay. That's your third dimension. It is very depressing. That's where you're going to see your depression, your anxiety, your fight or flight, emotional eating, numbing thyself, right? That's all third dimensional aspects. Okay. Now we all have the 3D energy within us. Okay. Like we were born into this world. We were raised into it. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a little bit more. So we moved into this new time, which is, I'm going to call the age of Aquarius. Okay. You can call it whatever you want, a couple years ago. And in the shift, old ways of being was very masculine energy, right? Like climb the ladder, kind of like this dog eat dog mentality, very heavy masculine push, hustle, grind. And in the corporate world, that's what I did is I just moved into the man's world and I just knew what I needed to do to get to where I needed to go. And so the hustle and the grind was the way. But here's the problem, and it worked. Okay, it worked. We moved into the age of Aquarius, which moved into a feminine energy driver, which means it's more of like an allowing, a flow, a manifestation energy. It's more this like relaxed. It's not like there's no stress, there's no rush. It just is. It just comes to you. It's a very gentle energy. And so like over the course of the last couple of years, we've had to kind of reprogram ourselves from like the hustle equals nervous system breakdown and burnout. Balance needed to come into this, right? So we're seeing a lot of people either one burning out and getting lost, or two saying like, hey, self-care, like I need to do yoga, I need to do meditation, I need to do breath work, I need to really pour into myself, I need to slow down, I need to take more time off, right? Because you're noticing like your body can't do it and you're not even getting results when you do it. So this feminine energy is moving it, which we'll talk more of. But I kind of wanted to give you this brief shifting. Okay, so 3D, here's the shifting of the energy. And now 5D is like, it's a higher dimension. Okay, so we're going higher into the energetic field, which means we're naturally lighter. We're releasing the heaviness of the world, where we can look at the world and we can say, okay, so we're actually souls, okay, spiritual beings that came here to be in a physical meat suit to have a spiritual experience, soul growth, where everything is happening for us. So now there's no such thing as toxic relationships, experiences that are just traumatic, right? We're looking at like this growth opportunity where it's like, what is this teaching me? Who am I becoming in the process? And now we're more of like this journey focused. We're more of like this, it's more of like a playground where it's like we can play with energy and we can have this fun, but we see from a higher picture, like this is actually all an illusion. There are multiple realities available. You can use the highest reality, which is the most fun, or you can be on the lowest reality where it's the most stressful and where suffering is involved. Any of these are available to you. And so in the 5D, we learn how to tap into those. So what I'm teaching here is I'm taking you from the 3D belief system that you were born into, and I'm moving you into this 5D and higher belief system that is energy. Okay. I think that the basis of this is like higher frequencies, higher vibrations, higher dimensions. So the experience in walking through this is we're going to have a series of conversations, okay, where I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to tell you stories about the things that I have gone through personally. I'm going to tell you stories about some different transformations that my clients have gone through, but I'm really going to take you really deep into understanding all of this. And so the reason why this was created was for a very specific reason. It was because I can't personally mentor everybody. And so this is taking you through all the things that I teach my clients, right? It's personalized for them, right? As they're walking through things, but I wanted to have a place where I could give you all of it, right? Where you could leap in your life without having to have one-on-one access to me, or having to be able to financially pay for that, right? Because there is an investment of time, there's an investment of energy, and there's investment in money. It's an equal energy exchange. And so not everybody has the current capability to have that, even if you want this. So that's what this is. That's what this is. Okay. So where are you currently? Right? I want you to think about this for a second. Where are you currently? What's going well? What isn't going well? There is this innate desire when you start something like this to look at your life and be like, okay, financially, am I a 1, going horrible, or 10, it's the best it's ever been, okay? Relationally, where are you, right? When you're evaluating your life, what does it look like? How about your health? How about your sense of purpose? How about the time that you have? How about the amount of fun that you have in your life, the joy, the excitement, the experiences, right? Lifestyle, wealth, right? All of these things. Where are you at currently? Because if we don't know where we're at right now, it's really hard to go from where we are to where we want to go, right? We need that GPS coordinate. The process looks a little like this, okay? We shed light on this is where we are, this is where we desire to go. But what I'm going to do for you in this process is I'm going to show you why the goal system doesn't really work and why it's really hard to achieve in that direction. I'm going to give you a lot easier way to shift it, which is core desired feelings. We're going to go into why we want what we want. Who's driving it? Is it your soul? Is it your ego? Is it your inner child? Or is it spirit, right? We have 4 different modalities that are working through us and understanding which one is the leader and the driver and where you're at right now in your life. And so understanding how to put these 4 in order and how to integrate all of these into a group that works together for your life to be able to give you the best possible experience here on this earth. Here's the reality, is that today, right, is the last moment that you're going to have this day, right? Tomorrow, life changes, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And so this is the way that I look at life. I go to the very last day of my life and I look back at this moment. When I'm looking back at this moment on the last day of my life, what do I wish I would have done? Who do I wish I would have become? What do I wish I would have jumped into? Okay. And that is the determining factor of what I do today. So there's no wasted day. There's no wasted time. There's this constant reflection of, okay, let's go to the end of my life and let's look back. What do I wish I would have done? I wish I would have jumped higher. I wish I would have loved harder. I wish I would have gone all in. I wish I would have trusted myself. I wish I would have tapped deeper into my intuition. I wish I would have been the best version of me. So it's 1% better every single day. It's not a huge jump, but over the course, right, of the year, that's 365% different you, which means that who you are tomorrow is not the same that you're going to be today, regardless if you do this work or not. Okay. Energy is always changing, which means we're always changing. And so the only thing the ego inside of you is telling you that you're staying the same. Oh, well, this is how I did it, or this is the way I've always done, or this is who I've always been. Everything is still changing. And so although that may be the ego story that's keeping you safe, you're not actually staying the same. We can either go forward or go backwards. We're never going to stay the same. Okay. So how long does this take? Everybody's different. If you dive into this and you're going and going and going and finding some results and it's starting to shift, and then all of a sudden your ego is going to come in and be like, wait a second, like this is too much, or your nervous system's like, whoa, you're changing too fast. You may procrastinate. You may put this aside. You may decide that this maybe isn't for you. All these things are going to happen where our ego comes to the surface and tries to protect us and move us back into where we were, because we're moving and we're transforming so quickly. And so what I want you to know is that you are guaranteed to go through that season when you're going through a transformation like this. And so what you're going to want to do is be aware of it in advance. Okay, hey, when the ego comes in, what do? I tell the ego version of myself, hey, I want you to know that we're safe. That's it. And then procrastination dissolves, and you continue to move through the process. And that may come up multiple times, but eventually, if you keep stepping in transformation every single day, if you keep continually improving yourself every single day, your ego gets used to that, and you no longer have the resistance or the procrastination energy that runs through you. Okay. Excellent. So how long does this take for you to get to where you want to go? Right, from where you are to where you want to go. How long does this take? I'm telling you what, it could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years. The time that you're trying to process of how long it's going to take you to get from here to here is your ego. Okay. If there's a fear about time, but my life is so hard right now, I'm suffering so bad, I just need out of this. Okay. I want you to remove that energy. I want you to pick it up and I want you to put it on the shelf, and I want you to be present in this moment with what is in front of you. Because if you come at this with this lack energy, with this gripping, with this like needing, like I need my financial world to turn around, but I need to fix my relationship, but I need to enhance my business. Okay. Guess what? The need, think of somebody that's like needy towards you, or like a needy child. It's kind of repelling. And so anything that we need is coming from an energy of lack, and we cannot create in lack. We can only create in abundance. So it's this lean back of trusting of like, today I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the work and I'm going to be the best version of myself. And I'm going to go all in. I'm going to listen to the things that Becca says. I'm going to apply them to the best of my ability. And I'm going to trust that my transformation is going to be perfect for me. That's it. That's the only belief system that you need. Okay. So how long does it take? I am going to move you into basic principles that guide you. Okay. And so what I did is I broke it up into different sections. So we have this like big chunk of information, right, that we're going to walk you through, in different tools and different skill sets that you're going to gain. And then we go deep into just, so then you can jump around if you want to, just relationships. Okay. Just money, just health, just business, right? Conscious parenting. I split it off very, very, intently because I want you to have a space where, as I have a couple things for me and for you, as I have things that come through me in a specific area of our life, I want to have a very sacred, tight container of where I can put that. Okay. And then for you, I want you to be like, I really need to transform my relationship with money. Okay, great. Got you. I really am in a spot where I'm either going to get divorced, I'm going to lose this, I'm not attracting the individual I want. My relationship life is a shit show and it is affecting all areas. I want to give you this place for that. Okay. Or like parenting is really, really hard for you. And you have like an inner, you guys, parenting is like the healing of our inner child. Yeah, it's great. And so that piece of the puzzle, what that's really saying is that you need to move from where you're at and allow your children to trigger what's coming up in you and to heal those pieces of you. So there's an area for conscious parenting. Who do I need to become to be the parent that has a long-term relationship with this child that I brought into the world, right? Or this child that I adopted, or this child that I have, received via marrying this individual, or, et cetera, et cetera. So this is exciting, right? Do you feel excited about this? Okay. Let me just see if there's something else that you need to know. I think that was it. So intended path. Everybody has an intended path. Your soul came here for a purpose. You picked your mother, you picked your father. And in the process of this, you had different things that you had requested before you came here to learn, to experience, to grow with. And so some of this is going to be very, very healing for you. And some of this is maybe very triggering for you. And I'm telling you what, when the trigger comes up, the trigger is coming up to be healed. Okay. So don't push me away when you have triggered. You can always email me to say, hey, walking through this, feeling triggered here. Where do I go with this? Okay. You have me via email, via guidance, to be able to ask questions, which I think is great. And I will be answering those as fast as I can, but I would say, give me some time. What else? That's it. How does this feel? So if you are feeling called, trust yourself. If you are feeling like my nervous system can't yet handle this, I am not ready to create my life in a way that I really love. Like I don't yet want to walk this path. Don't push yourself. Okay. You're going to get this feeling from inside where you're going to get this like audible hell yes, where you're just like, I have to do it. I have to find the funds, the resources, the time. Like I am all in. Okay. And I want you to trust wherever you're at in the process, knowing that alignment is key for the maximum result. Okay. Because my intention for you in this is that you really get the transformation that you desire, that you really get the results. And I want you to look at me and see the way that I live my life and see the way that my energy feels and emanate that in your own unique way. Where you have this like you didn't before you started this, before you took the leap into this, that you didn't even know what extraordinary actually felt like. It sounded good. It sounded like it would feel phenomenal, but you don't know until you get there. And I'm going to help you with that as well. So do a little soul searching, spend some time in silence and feel into your heart to see what makes more sense for you. This is 2% of your capacity. This is 98%. Trust yourself. And I hope to see you on the other side.